We know that the emergency Rwanda legislation has now been passed by the House of Commons and it will be going to the House of Lords. By way of background, this legislation is being rammed through Parliament by the government in response to a Supreme Court judgment of the UK court late last year, where they found that Rwanda is not, in fact, a safe country for the UK government to be expelling asylum seekers to. The government obviously did not like that judgment. And so what they are attempting to do now is pass legislation which essentially overrules what the Supreme Court says. And they also have sought to sign an agreement with Rwanda to try and remedy some of the problems that were highlighted by the court.
Interesting point there. So the Supreme Court has already ruled on this, but then the government has in a way figured out how to circumvent the ruling and turn it into some kind of law that actually allows the government to take asylum seekers to Rwanda.
The Supreme Court has made a judgment on the basis of factual information before it. And that factual information included information provided by Human Rights Watch about the situation on the ground in Rwanda, which, as anyone who's following the situation or who in fact is in Rwanda will know, is extremely problematic. There is, unlawful detention, extrajudicial executions. There is, continued repression of political opposition in Rwanda. There's severe restriction on freedom of expression. There are many problems with the human rights situation in Rwanda, which we made very clear to the government themselves and which were raised by the court. In addition, including to the fact that the judicial system in Rwanda is not sufficient to ensure that there would be, that the persons, asylum seekers would have a fair hearing before the court and that they wouldn't therefore be subject to expulsion to places where they are not safe.
Rwanda has vehemently denied some of the allegations that Human Rights Watch has documented. Other rights groups have documented, saying that Rwanda is not a safe place. In fact, they have gone on to say that Rwanda is arguably one of the safest places. They have put laws in place to make sure that if these asylum seekers are shipped to Rwanda or airlifted to Rwanda, they will be safe and secure.
It is incredibly far from the truth. I mean, we've been documenting the situation in Rwanda for decades now, and it is very, very clear that Rwanda is an incredibly repressive state that is subjecting many individuals, including those that are in any way oppose the current government in Rwanda, subjecting them to indefinite detention, to other forms of harassment,